So now we're going to use repetition to flicker a fire. This is really exciting. Let's add a gem to the 3D world. So I'm going to go back to this plus sign and I'm going to find a gem. So I'm going to scroll across and there is the gem object. So I'm going to click it once and then I'm going to add it in the center of my scene. So click and there it is. But I want it to be completely upside down. So I'm going to use the rotate tool. I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to get this outer hula hoop and I'm going to turn it upside down all the way like that. And now I'm going to move over to my code block. So let's have a look at the code block here. At the moment, it's called item 1. Now, item 1 is fine if you're just dragging loads of things in and you don't want to add any code to it, extra code, and make it do things. But I'm going to make this gem do things. So I'm going to give it a proper name. So I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to choose rename variable. And I am going to call it fire because this is going to be my flickering fire. So I'm going to press OK. At this point as well, you could also choose a different color if you want to. So you can choose a different color from there. I'm going to keep it the same. And also, if you know anything about degrees and placing objects, completely upside down and making it perfect would actually be 180. So you can see I almost got that right there with 178.5. But if I really want it to be absolutely perfect, then I could change that to 180. You don't have to. If you're happy with it as it is, you leave it as it is. But if you want it to be perfect, you can change it to 180 there. So I've got that, I've done it. And now what I want to do is I'm going to drag in a forever block. So this is all part of my repetition. So I'm going to just leave some space. There we go. So in events, you're going to find the forever block. And then I'm going to drag my forever block. So I can drag it here or I can drag it here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to just let go. And we're saying forever, we want to glow the fire for a second and then clear effects for a second. So this is how we do it. Now, the materials part of this toolbox. So there are so many exciting things in here, but the thing I'm going to pick is the glow block. So here we go, glow. And because I just renamed it fire, it has said fire there, but in case you're in a different part, then you might have something like item or an object or something like that. So just make sure you've definitely selected fire from the list, but it probably will already say fire if you've just renamed it to fire up there. Okay, so it's going to glow the fire. Now, if I press play, it's just going to glow the fire because I haven't told it to do anything else. So I'm just going to stop. And now I want it to wait for a second. So I'm going to go to control and wait for 1 second and drop that in. And now we want to clear the effect. So we want to stop it glowing. And this is going to create our flickering effect. So I go back into materials and I choose clear effects. And again, because fire was the last thing I did, it's remembered that, but just double check on yours, make sure it has remembered it too. And then we already know how to duplicate a block. So we can tap and hold and get the duplicate on the menu, or we can press D on our keyboard to duplicate, and then I bring it underneath. So now I get it's on for a second and then it's off for a second. And that will just do that forever until my program is stopped. So if I stop my program, then it'll stop flickering because that forever loop is now stopped. But as long as it's playing, it will do that forever.